Good morning and welcome to another Q&A Monday. This week's question says, what is a good consistent time frame for lead generation? And so I think if I understand your question correctly, you may be asking, how much or how often or what time of day should I do lead generation? And this is an age-old issue that any business owner has, because again, any business is a lead generation business. You can say, I love people and I love houses and I love all this stuff, but the reality is if we don't love lead generation, then we won't ever see enough houses or see enough people. And so lead generation has to move to the top. We have to fall in love with lead generation. And I think that's difficult because when we think of lead generation, we think of pure cold calling and things like that. And I've just learned over the years, I want to be happy in doing what I do also. I want to get up every day and be excited about what I do. And so I've learned how to lead generate in ways that I like to lead generate. So I'm going to give you some examples. I feel like sometimes I'm better person to person with someone. So I might pick going out and meeting someone person to person rather than calling out of a phone book cold or something. So figure out who you are. What do you naturally like to do? And then everywhere you are, think of lead generation. I think a lot of times we meet a lot of people in the course of our day, but because we're not thinking about how to turn that person into a customer, we don't call that lead generation. And I've learned that no matter where I am, there's a lead generation opportunity for something. And the nice thing about getting multiple streams of income is there really is always a lead generation opportunity, maybe several. And so don't look at lead generation as just time you got to sit down and make all these cold calls, but maybe it's calling your own past clients that would be better. I mean, I know some of the best lead generators in this industry, and some of them don't do anything but call their own past clients every day. And that's a lot easier to do because these people know you and like you and they've already done business with you. So get out of this habit of thinking it just has to be cold calling, because then you sit around and beat yourself up and you never do it anyway. And so what do you do in the course of a day? Where are you? What's an elevator speech or something you could come up with that would turn the conversation to real estate, would turn the conversation to what you do for a living? Learn and master that. I'll give you an example. If you walk into the nearest drugstore and you're talking to the client, to the guy behind the counter, and you say, he says it's a beautiful day outside. You could say it is a beautiful day. And you know what? In my business, beautiful days are extremely important. What is he going to ask? He's going to ask, what is your business? Well, I'm in the business of real estate. I'm in the business of helping people buy or sell a house. Do you happen to know of anybody who's thought about that? That's how simple it is. But if I just go and say, yes, it is a beautiful day. Have a good day. See ya. I have no opportunity for lead generation. So learn 2 or 3 good little, what we call elevator speeches. Be ready to deliver that at any moment. One of the gentlemen that used to be in our office years ago, we practiced one with him, and his was, you'd be great in my, after he got a conversation with someone, he'd say, you'd be great in my business. And they're going to ask, what's your business? And he'd say, I'm in the business of real estate. I'm in the business of helping people buy and sell houses. Do you know anybody? And usually if they weren't looking to buy themselves, they'd say, my mother's looking to sell her house. My sister wants to buy a house. So we have to put it at the top of our mind so that in the conversation we can get it to go there. I'm going to very seldom doubt that you're not meeting enough people, but I am going to venture to bet that you're not getting the conversation to go where you need it to go to lead generate most of the time. And then pick a few activities, master those, and then move on. Pick the warmest ones first. For me, what works is to do my lead generation earliest in the day and earliest in the week. That's just my business energy. It always has been. I've learned to embrace it. I've learned to work with it. And I don't beat myself up because Friday I'm just not going to make a bajillion calls. Matter of fact, I'm probably not even going to be at work on Friday. I personally think it's supposed to be part of the weekend and somebody screwed up. So I've learned to, rather than beat myself up about that, I've learned to embrace it and accept it and know that Monday is my most productive day, and I'm going to get the hardest stuff done first and early. So figure out where your energy is around it, and figure out what 2 or 3 ones you could master first. Memorize an elevator speech, and then once you get those mastered, then come back to the list of sources of many different places you can find customers, and pick another one, and then go master it. And think outside the box. One year I taught a course for all my past clients. It was actually a life achievement course that I'm very fond of. Picked a Saturday, got a sponsor. We rented a room. 125 people showed up. I gave them tickets, told them they could bring a guest if they'd like. And I didn't talk to them all day about me doing business with them. I talked to them all day about them. Guess what? 5 deals came from that. So think out of the box a little bit. What do you love to do? For me, I love to teach. I love to share great information. I love to help people's lives get better. So how can I make that a lead generation opportunity? Guess what? I can put them in the room, teach them something that's good for them, that will help change their life, and just know from the way the world works, I can't outgive what I get. So just have faith in that, figure out what works for you, and just get a lead generation mindset. Hope that helps, and I'll see you next week.